come with us for our final video in our Grenada series, where we take a private taxi tour around the Isle of Spice, visiting the island's most popular spots, such as the spice markets of the capital St George, meet some of the local residents in the island's rainforest, but go off the tourist track for some hidden gems with the best views and the most picturesque waterfall the locals like to keep to themselves. So come explore this beautiful island with us. So rather than book a set tour through the resort, we found our own driver with fantastic reviews via Tripadvisor. Plus, we then invited another couple we had met, splitting the cost between us further, and just the four of us with our great driver, Rondell.
Anyway, moving forward,
who, as you can see, was quite a character, and his knowledge of the island's history and botany was exceptional. And we'll put links in the description as always on how you can book yourself. But we started the tour with some of the regular tourist spots, starting with Fort Frederick and its commanding position over the island's capital, St George, where you can alternatively visit Fort George, which guards the entrance to the island's main harbour, and is a good option if you are tight for time, as much closer to the capital's spice markets, which are usually included on most tours. In comparison, Fort Frederick appears not to be as busy, and we pretty much had the site to ourselves for the duration of our visit. Entry is usually only $2, but as we visited on a national holiday in Grenada, the site was free to visit that day. And this was the real advantage of having booked the tour privately ourselves, as did our research in advance of the tour, and then sent a customised itinerary through and get the taxi company's feedback on our itinerary, tweaking if necessary, ensuring we maximised our time and saw as many sites as possible. And the reason we chose this fort as our preference was of course due to the elevation and the fantastic views, which were not only forward to the island's capital, but also to the rear to the island's interior, as Fort Frederick was also known as the backward-facing fort, designed to protect the island from a potential attack from across the island, as well as from the sea. But was already time to move on, as we still had plenty more sites to fit into the day's itinerary, where we drove down to the capital St George and Fort George at the edge of this picturesque harbour, which is split over two sides, so have to pass through these tunnels that are shared by both traffic and, as you can see, pedestrians. Which brought us to the other side of the capital, where the cruise ships dock, and you will also find the famous spice market, which was worth seeing, as the island is known for its production of spices, notably nutmeg. However, with hindsight, would have cut back time here to focus on some less touristy options. So headed out of town, taking a brief detour to stop by the Grenada National Cricket Stadium, before heading deep into the island's rainforest, where Rondell's knowledge really came into its own.
the rainbow eucalyptus,
and taking the winding roads to the highest point of the island, where we stopped at Grand Etang National Park, where the lake is a flooded volcanic crater, which is picturesque enough, and we stopped off to feed the fishes. However, this was not the highlight of this stop off. You've got a monkey backside in your face. Here we met the monkey whisperer, who, for a customary tip, coaxes these wild monkeys to come down. And unlike other places where they may be kept on a leash, here you could see that they choose to interact with tourists freely coming in and out of the trees, though do ensure you take some bananas from your hotel to bring with you. And now descending through the other side of the rainforest, we pass by the Balthazar river tubing, which you can check out on our Grenada excursions video, and then on to our lunch stop at the Belmont Estate. This historic 17th century plantation has been faithfully restored and where you can experience cocoa production. Now, we did not have time to partake of the tours, however was a great setting to stop for a bite to eat. And remember, if you're enjoying this video, do check out the rest of our Grenada series, and we please ask that you hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us support this channel and bring you more content like this in the future. And a hearty lunch was needed for what came next.
Maybe that guy, I don't know if he's old enough to know, but a lot of the old folks know about using this to give your kids to put them to sleep when you're about to be naughty at night.
Right.
So I reached the top of what I can only describe as the most ridiculous hill. It's like a 45-degree incline. Cars can't get up here. Once you reach the top, you'll come to this wonderful place. You want to hang a left there and follow the fence around, and it'll take you to the Welcome Stone. Now, the Welcome Stone is one of the highest viewpoints on Grenada and is not usually on the tourist trail. But as you can see, the hike up to the top and then through to the viewpoint was certainly not for everybody, and we were the only tourists there. But was very much worth it, for at the top you were rewarded with a fantastic panoramic view. However, being on the opposite side of the island, we had no choice but to climb in the midday heat. And if this looks a little bit too strenuous, another good option on this side of the island is the rum distillery at the Grand Etang Estate, as after this workout we could have used a drink. When you think I'm kidding about this hill, it's just the top corner. Check out that incline. After which we were thankful for a rest as we circumnavigated our way down the east of the island to another hidden gem off the usual tourist trail. Here we are at Pearls Airport, and as you can see, this is the remains of the aircraft from the US invasion and the subsequent battles that went on here. Very bizarre. It is surreal to think that this little Caribbean island was the scene of a military liberation in the 1980s, and if it wasn't for these planes, you would have no idea it took place. But again, it was time to push on past the town of Grenville to Mt Carmel, where again we had opted to come off the main tourist trail. Here we were met by some locals, where it's customary to tip. The dogs become our local tour guide, for them to walk you down the path to the nearby waterfall. That was only fair, as this literally is their back garden. Now, the more main street tours will usually take you to either the Annadale or Concorde Falls, both of which are still great choices, but from our research, these falls were far more impressive and a far more authentic experience, with no tourist stalls and only locals enjoying the falls. Now, unfortunately, my GoPro played up during the visit, and all the footage I recorded was lost in the actual waterfall. So I'm thankful we got this segment, proving that we actually did go in. And also, just like at the other less well-known Seven Sisters waterfall, you get the bonus of a second lower falls, where locals have used this as a water slide. And this was to be our last stop on the tour, as was now late in the afternoon, and time to head back to our resort. We had optimistically hoped that we could fit in the rum distillery at the Westerhall Estate, but just did not have enough time, but could not have achieved so much without our wonderful driver. This is Rondell, who we have just had the most amazing day with all out around Grenada. His knowledge is fantastic, absolute gen, and has crammed so much into the day. It's crazy. So please book with these guys. The name of the company is
Best Deal Taxi and Tours Grenada.
And make sure you ask for Rondell, because he is absolutely
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
It was a pleasure.
Our pleasure as well.
Yeah. Every time, anytime. We're always available.
Cool. So if you've enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe, and check out the other videos in our Grenada series. Or alternatively, check out one of our other destination videos. But thanks for watching, and hope to see you again soon.